All right, it's C2 and C3 back in hot from Cabo. Now, wait, don't touch that dial. You're about to meet this unlikely pair who came together to build a team in 12 months that sold over $60 million in business and is on their expansion team now, opening that up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. From Florence to Myrtle Beach, you're going to meet Andrew Savage and Cameron Michael coming up next on Cliff's Notes. Real estate agents, are you struggling with the day-to-day grind, dialing for dollars, putting in hours of floor time with little to show for it? Are you looking for tips, tricks, and tactics to accelerate your career as an agent that will have you closing more homes, working with more clients, and earning more money than ever before? Hi, my name's Cliff Freeman, and I've spent the past 2 decades of my real estate career running one of the top brokerages in DFW and personally coaching over 1,000 high-performing real estate professionals across North America. I created this podcast to share the strategies and tactics you need to explode your real estate business. I guarantee it. Man, did you see the shirts we had on the last part of that opening? We were wearing those all week last week. You know that?
Yeah, that was nice.
Wasn't that a good trip to Cabo to see all of our friends?
Amazing. Yeah. I love those events.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You know,
life-changing.
Life-changing and growing from, we had almost 1,200 people there this time, up from, 800 last time, I think, something like that. But as you guys know, every March we take our little tribe down to Cabo. It's actually San Jose del Cabo in southern Baja, Mexico, and we have some really good fellowship and training, collaboration and stuff. We do that for a few days, and it's just really wonderful to see everybody. And a couple of guys here that we didn't get to see down there this time because they are so busy in South Carolina. Let's go ahead and bring our guests on, Trelvis, if we could. We'd like to welcome guys Andrew Savage and Cameron Michael, all the way from SC. How you guys doing today?
We're doing great.
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Hey, we're excited to have you. And C3, these guys have a story, man. You guys are incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, over 60 million. You guys started this team 12 months ago, and you've already generated 60 million in sales in your first 12 months, up to 50 agents, and you're already set for your expansion team in Myrtle Beach. That's up and running, and you said earlier before the show, I believe, that that's tracking to match your sales in Florence. That is incredible. Yes. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a future Hall of Famers right here. And by the way, you guys are, we can tell you still have all your hair, number one, and there's not a lot of gray up there. So, I mean, if you don't want to disclose, it's okay, but you're young guys. How old are you guys?
I'm 30.
I'll be 35 this year. I'm starting to lose track.
30 and 35. The average age, what's the average age for realtors? Like 50 or 60?
56 or 57.
Wow.
Like that. Yeah. And to see these guys come in and that's crushing it. That's over left field.
It's new energy, yeah.
That's out of the park.
Yeah.
That is really amazing. So congratulations. Now, welcome our viewers today. If I were you, I would make sure you have a clean 8.5 by 14 sheet of legal paper and a full pen so you can get the writer downers that we're about to drop on you. And guys, as you know, we're here to share our I can't even say I did it again. Tips, tricks, and tactics, right, to success in real estate. But before we get into that, what I want to do is I kind of want to take a little walk back in time with you guys. Now, you've only been together as a team for this short 12-month period. And prior to that, you were at different brokerages. Let's start with Andrew. Would you start out and give us a little bit of background on yourself, and then we'll talk to Cameron in a second here. But I'd kind of like to develop each side of this. You guys both have really interesting stories. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about growing up and how you got into real estate?
Yeah, no, definitely. First off, I want to start by saying thank you for this opportunity. I've been following you guys ever since I've come to XP, and I'm big on trying to find somebody who's doing what I want to do, and just seeing you guys do at a high level and a successful level. You guys have been a blessing to me. Now, when we talk about my personal background growing up, started off just a middle class family, average family, going to school. One of my biggest things was I was smart enough to always pass the class, but I never really put that extra energy to be an A+ student, right? So for me, I didn't really have that drive there. So growing up, going from high school to college, I knew that college was the next thing to do after high school. I really didn't have a drive. I really didn't want to do it, but I wanted to make my parents proud. So that's the step that I took. I started off at a 4-year college locally here. Within the first semester, I got kicked out. Not a bad guy, but just grades weren't there. I didn't put in the effort. So from there, I went to a local 2-year college, and in those 2 years that I started off, doing the same thing, still didn't really have that drive. And it wasn't until my 3rd or 4th year when I realized that, hey, I'm only a year away. If I can just buckle down and get through this, I can get this degree. So from there, I ended up graduating. It took me 6 years, but I graduated from that 2-year college. And in doing so, I earned a marketing degree. So after obtaining that degree, one of my buddies got with me and said, hey, I want to start this business. Now, I always knew that I had a business mindset. I knew I wanted to have a business, but I never knew what type of business I wanted to have. So he came to me with the idea. I looked at it on paper. It sounded good. And it was a transportation company. So from there, we started the company against all odds. Even my parents, people who knew me, they kind of felt like I always had it in me, but I never really took the steps to be great. So starting that company, we went from me working at Kmart making minimum wage 1 year to the following year taking that company to $1 million company in 1 year. Yeah. So from there, it was just like, now I realized that, hey, I can do this. Now, even though we were successful, it still wasn't my passion. The money was great, but I still didn't feel like I was filling that void. So about 3 years in, I kind of got this unction from God to say, you know what? I think it's time for you to put this down and take that next step. And I want you to try out real estate. Now, I did have a rental property, so I knew a little bit about real estate, but I never really dove into the actual being a buyer's and a seller's agent. But the unction was so strong, it was something that was just calling me to go ahead and do it. So what I did was I still kept my other business and I went to real estate school. I drove an hour and a half to Columbia from my city for 3 weeks straight, and was there from 9 to 5 until I got my license. Once I got my license, I said in order for me to do this, I had to be all in. So I went ahead and talked to my partner and told him it's time to dissolve. I know we're doing great, but this is not for me anymore. So from there, got into real estate, and it was rough. It took me about 6 months to sell my first home. There was plenty of times I doubted myself, plenty of times I questioned, is this the right thing? But one day it just clicked. And then after I sold that first home, I went from one home to selling 26 homes in my first calendar year. And then the awards started coming in, the accolades started coming in, which is great. But I'm always looking at the bigger picture. And even though I felt like this was my calling, I knew that I had to find a way to secure financials for my family for the future. So I knew when it comes to real estate, I can only make money as long as I'm able to go out there and sell. If I get sick, if something happens, there's no way for me to have income coming into my family. So I was already starting to think, okay, what's next? So from there, I went to my broker and kind of just told him what I was feeling. And his answers were, you're doing great. I don't want you to jump ahead. You're doing good. Now, for me, that wasn't good enough. At that same time, a guy that I looked up to in our local market, which is my partner, Cameron Michael, he reached out to me and said, hey, I have this new opportunity. He pitched EXP to me, explained everything from stock to revenue share. And I was like, wow, like this is exactly what I needed. But even then, I'm not quick to move. I'm one of those kind of people that, okay, I don't have a problem with taking a leap of faith, but I have to make sure that it's the right step and it's not just me wanting something different. So it took me about 6 months. At the time, I was engaged, about to get married, and I wanted to get through that transition, but I wanted to make sure that it was the right step for me. So upon getting married and going ahead and making that transition, I decided to reach out to Cameron, and we talked about it, and we said, you know what? I think I'm going to make this move. Like, I think this is the right spot for me. So from there, we had this idea where we were like, okay, we both can come to EXP and be single agents and thrive and get stock and get rev share, but we wanted to be able to give back what was missing in our community. There's a lot of real estate companies, but there isn't that new feel. There isn't a company where you have multi-coaches coming together and working and succeeding. So being that we're from different backgrounds, we felt like we were the perfect opportunity to start that here. And we're here today.
Amazing story.
That is a great story.
Yeah.
Have you been an introvert your whole life or just recently? No, I'm just kidding.
You know, it's crazy. I battle between both. I'm mostly an introvert, though. I really am.
Really? You could have fooled me. I'll
Yeah.
tell you. That's that's what a compelling story, though. You know,
Going from minimum wage at Kmart.
well, yeah, and the whole college thing. I mean, how many people have you and I talked to where college just wasn't their thing?
Right.
You know? Learning
Yeah.
how I used to call that. That's how where you go learn to work for somebody else, right? And
No, definitely.
entrepreneurs, we get stir crazy going to college because. You know, we're thinking way outside the box, right? So
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
well, that's great, Andrew. Thank you. You know, and Cameron, how about you? What what was it like in your family growing up, and when did the real estate bug bite you?
It bit me early. Just a little bit about me. From a small town in South Carolina, my grandfather started real estate back in the 70s. And so I kind of grew up in the business. I knew from an early age that I wanted to be in real estate. And, straight out of high school, went to college. I actually did not finish, but joined my family brokerage. So I actually assisted my grandfather for about 7 years before I got my license. So I sold insurance up to about 2013. Got my license, decided in 2015 that insurance wasn't for me long term and wanted to move. So that's when I made the short move about an hour away to Florence, South Carolina, which is where we're at today, to do real estate. I joined Remax and decided to do that full time. Joined with Adam Carlson, which is who used to have Remax back in 2015 when I moved here. Started there, was a top producing agent for 5, 6, 7 years straight. The thing is with real estate, and I'll go back to joining with Adam and why I was there so long. Coming in, I joined his team there, and my main goal was to be number one, and that was a short-term goal because once I got to that point, I knew that the only way to grow from there is to scale out. The tough thing for me was, I had a very great relationship with Adam and with all of our colleagues with Remax. So, a good guy named Lars Hedenberg used to be our team coach, and he decided to make the move to EXP, and him and John Mikish, if you guys are with EXP or even in the real estate industry, these names might be familiar to you. But they come down, and Adam brought the news down to me that he was making the switch from Remax to EXP. I was shocked, but at the same time, I was in a 2-year slump. And what I mean by that is I was kind of frustrated with being an agent, a sole agent, and wanted to scale out, but I didn't want to leave Adam. Well, when EXP was brought to us, of course, that brought us a different opportunity to be able to scale out and Adam still be able to benefit from it. When I reached out to Andrew and I decided to start our own team together with EXP. I can go back in. I'm sure you guys will ask us how we started it, but starting there and to ending up where we're at now, about a year later. Yeah, we have an organization of 82 agents as of today. We have a team here in Florence of roughly 23 agents. We did close to $62 million in sales within that first year. The Myrtle Beach team, which was branched out with a partner of ours there, is on track to do more than that within their first year. It's a different market there in Myrtle Beach. We've been able to network and meet so many different people throughout this business. And I still have a good relationship with Adam. I mean, I actually Adam and I have started we've started a mortgage company and an insurance company together since my move to EXP. So it's been very busy. It's been a good, rewarding situation for us, and highly rewarding. And just the networking, along with the money, along with meeting different people within this company, has been amazing. So.
This is just that incredible story of growth that you just shared with us. Would that have even been possible at another brokerage?
Honestly, without fluffing it, I mean, no, I would not have been able to grow and scale out as quickly. Adam and I would not have been able to keep the relationship that we have together now, because we are in a smaller market here in Florence, South Carolina, and Adam still has his own team that he runs there, and we kind of refer to ourselves as sister companies because we have that relationship and that connection through EXP Realty. So to answer your question short, no.
Yeah. So not only you're not really competing with each other, you're helping each other. What about the notion, the idea of just even doing an expansion team? Was that a possibility where you were before?
Not at all. Not at all.
Why is that? Just the franchise area limitations?
The franchise area limitations, the startup costs, one main thing. It just we have no debt into coming into this, and immediately within, I would say, 4 or 5 months, we started making a very, very big return, and it's grown since then. So I just don't see you being able to build that out. I've done the research. I thought about it for 2 years prior to joining EXP about doing my own boutique brokerage or joining another franchise, and the cost, the startup, the brick and mortar, the time it takes to actually build out that organization, it's a lot different.
Got it. All right, I'm going to shift gears on you guys and ask Andrew to pick this one up. Okay. I've coached a lot of agents in the past, and including some time with John and Lars. When people come to me and say they want to form a partnership, I have a rule about that, and my rule is that whoever your partner is must bring something to the table that you can't do or access yourself. Andrew, tell us, what is it that Cameron brings to the table that you couldn't do yourself?
It's funny that you asked. You can actually see it now. He's more calm, cool, and collect. I'm more straight to the point. But for me, the biggest thing is just he had a reach that I didn't have. I've only been in the company or being a realtor for 2 years. He was a realtor, I think, at the time for 6 or 7 years. So he had that that name in the market that I didn't have. So that was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to partner with him.
Well, I think in fairness, we need to ask Cameron the same question then, huh?
Sure. Yeah, so I would say, both of us, when we brought together Greyfeather, we knew what was missing in our market. We wanted we wanted a hip, we wanted something that hasn't been done here, and there was a culture barrier. I mean, there was, in our area, there's a large group of African American and Caucasian area. I mean, for our area, it's about split 50-50, I would say. And there wasn't a mixed brokerage, and we were able to bring that together. And we have a melting pot, is what I would say, of amazing people and amazing culture. I don't even know how we would describe our culture. It's different. It's as what's his name, Coach John. I can't think of his name. But anyways, it's different over here. John Sheplak says that. It truly is, and we've brought that to the table for agents here, and so for Andrew, I knew he had the business aspect behind him, the history of already growing a business. I knew he had that mindset. Also, Andrew doesn't give himself enough credit. He does bring a lot to the table, although he's a little more introverted, a little more nervousness. He's a really good salesman, and just brings a lot of talent to the table. So yeah, we complement each other well.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could see. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys are amazing, and I love the idea of, just being able to serve a larger share of the market together, than apart. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. Tell us the story behind the name of your team now, Greyfeather.
I'll let you have that one.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna actually read it off because it's a little long. It's not terribly long, but it is. We get asked the question a lot, and it's a little something we wrote up just to kind of explain what Greyfeather means and what the meaning is behind that. So I'll read it off to you. The symbolism of gray feathers tells you to stop focusing on what's wrong and start thinking about how to make things better. It shows up when there may be something or someone in your life who would rather see everything fail than succeed. A gray feather shows us a negative attitude is not needed or wanted. Gray feathers spiritually symbolize growth and progress. Finding them is a sign that you've become more confident in yourself, less likely to let others pull down your emotions or sway opinions of self-worth. You stand up for what you believe is right, even if it doesn't please everyone else around you. The symbolism of gray feathers represent adapting to change, taking on new opportunities, or putting yourself out there so you can get the most out of life.
I love that. Yeah. Sounds like we need to start the gray hair team here on.
You're leading the pack for that.
I am. And my hair is making a run for it on top of all that.
No kidding.
Yes. Wow, that is fantastic. So let's talk for a minute about your team and your culture. You mentioned culture. What would you say? You said your culture is very unique. Let's talk specifically about things like, Andrew, you're a very faith-driven person. How big is faith in the culture of the Greyfeather team?
Oh, no, it's everything. I think a lot of us have aligned faith. We both have reasons outside of just making money or helping others when it comes to selling real estate. And I think that's backed by our faith. So it's very major when it comes to Greyfeather Group.
Okay. What is it is that what gets you out of bed every morning? And I'd kind of like to ask maybe Cameron, if you want to answer that, what's your big why? What is it that you want this whole career venture enterprise that you're creating? What is it you really want to build here for the long term?
Giving back opportunity that may not have been there for people otherwise. Honestly, that's my biggest why, is being able to share, what we've built and building it together. And, honestly, when one of us succeeds, we all succeed, and, just sharing that success. I've seen, in business, in this world, in a lot of scenarios, there's been one person benefiting or a small group of people benefiting off of an opportunity. Well, EXP is a prime example of that's not the case. There's a lot of winning groups within EXP, as there is with Greyfeather, and that's why we plug those two into each other. It's just being able to having a ton of success for multiple people.
Tell us a little bit about your hiring process and what the perfect hire or agent is for your team. What characteristics are mandatory to be on your team?
Well, I'll start off with the first part. I'll let you come in and end it up. One of the biggest things that I saw in my prior brokerage was you can have a lot of great agents, but if you bring in one person, it can ruin the whole atmosphere. So one of the biggest things that we said was, even though we're the founders of Greyfeather, we didn't want it to be a me and him thing. We wanted to bring in people who were already here, who were cemented and believed in us, to also join the hiring committee. So whenever we are hiring somebody, we have me, we have Cameron, and we have 3 other agents that's in the office daily that come in and join in on that process to make sure that we're hiring somebody who fits what we're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll piggyback off of that. We're in when I say a small market, there's roughly 400 agents here in Florence, South Carolina. I would say, a quarter of that are actually highly producing. Myrtle Beach, where we scaled out, with a partner of ours there's 4,000 licensed agents. So it's a much bigger market. And then we have some other expansions coming up with our brand through EXP. But with Florence, because it is so small, we are a little picky with who we allow to come into the brand, because we want them to have that same attitude of us all succeeding. There are no secret agents here. There's no hiding anything. We all share success because the more that you give, as cliche as it may sound, the more you get out of it. It's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah. So the expansion team that you guys are doing in Myrtle Beach, tell us how you're supporting that team. What do you do? What's the benefit of somebody in another market of working with you?
So they share our same core values with the brand. Our partner there, he has definitely done well with that. We actually facilitated, Andrew and I and our partner there, facilitated the second EXP branch of the state. There's actually only two. There was only one at the time. There was one in Charleston, South Carolina, and we opened the one in Myrtle Beach. But they have now since, because they've gotten so big, there's roughly 26 agents there with Greyfeather. The organization in Myrtle Beach is even bigger. Of course, it doesn't have to be Greyfeather. We talk a lot about our brand. EXP reward, you get the reward of being able to scale out your revenue share with the company. So, I would say they have followed that same regimen, those same core values, and they built it out the same way, and it's done just as well there as it has here, if not better.
Okay. All right. Tell us about lead generation. What do you do in Florence? I mean, that's a pretty small fishbowl, right? So
Right.
Obviously when you go to Myrtle Beach, that's a big second home area. Are you guys helping at all with lead generation in the expansion area? And just kind of describe, if you would, what you're doing in a small market like that to have such high market share.
Let me share that.
Yeah, well, let's do that.
So I would say we started off with we use Ylopo, Follow a Boss. We're firm believers in those companies. They're great at building out what we've had. There's multiple different streams of ways that we bring in business. We do have that set up. We have a social media set up. We have multiple others. I mean, I can name them and go over everything, but there's multiple different ways. I will lay this out to you so it actually makes sense. So we make money off of Myrtle Beach expansion from revenue share, the way that EXP has built that out. Here in Florence, and just like them there, they have the same tools as we have here, except for us, there's 3 different tiers that we allow for you to be a part of our organization. So you can be on our team, which we provide you the leads, and of course that's a different split. That you guys know how that works out. So we have the Greyfeather team, then we have the Greyfeather expansion team, and then we have the Greyfeather Premier Agent team. Which so for the Greyfeather Premier Agent team, we charge a transaction fee to the public per transaction. We've got roughly 54 contracts as of this morning under contract right now, and we're consistently keeping 40 to 50 on at a time. So you can add those transaction fees. That's where we get money from our premier agents, because we don't take any of their commissions on top of revenue share. Now our team, of course, is not exactly brand new agents, but they can be brand new. They can be seasoned agents that is looking to build up their sphere of influence over time by being able to mix on their own book of business versus us giving them leads. That's a flat split for them, and then of course, we allow them to graduate from that to premier status when they're ready and when they want to. The expansion team, however, is for them to come on, represent the brand. They charge the transaction fee because they are a part of our team, and they're just in a different market where we're not able to provide them as many leads or as much support, but they still have that camaraderie from Greyfeather. And then we have a sales meeting every single week. We have rev share meetings. We have a group message feed that is a private group just for us. We all have our niches in this business because we've attracted so many amazing people that, we have people that are great with investors. We have people that are great in just certain different in certain different areas where we're all able to share that with each other, and we're growing from it. So
yeah, and I want to piggyback off that as well. And when it comes to leads, one thing that we preach is there's more than one way to be successful in this business. Cameron built his business basically starting off with leads, and then he graduated from that to having just repeat clientele. I've never paid for a lead in my life. I came in and just marketed Facebook. I kind of told my story, and one of my big things is leading by example. And people want to work with winners. So when they see that you're winning, when you're showing your success, they're going to come around, and that's kind of how I built my business.
That's a great way to
This
do
guy-
it.
Yeah, no
organically
kidding.
like
Organic,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't.
Sure.
I will say that, with Andrew, he's one of the rare people that I've seen succeed so quickly in this business without paying for any kind of advertising. It was all organic. That just shows you what type of person he is and how big he is in this area and in his culture. Like he has been consistently closing 8 to 10 deals a month for a very long since he's been in this business, and that's hard to find. So.
That's some power
That's
there.
stronger than 9 acres of garlic.
That's my line.
Yes. That's impressive, man. That's really cool.
Thank
So
you.
as far as the team structure, we're talking about that, but do you guys have a physical office there in Florence, or is it
No, we
do?
do. We have
We
a
do.
physical office, yes, and office space as well.
office space? Okay.
Yeah, so we've got a branch office in Florence, South Carolina, downtown, that we renovated. Got a mid-century modern vibe. It's pretty cool. We've got a work bar up against the front glass of the building, and we can share it in the comments for people to see. We did that with AJ Amato when we had a interview with him, and he wanted us to share that. But we've got one here. We're doing the same thing in Myrtle Beach. Our partner there, they just signed a lease on a 3,000 square foot building right across the street from Broadway at the beach in Myrtle Beach. So it's gonna be pretty awesome too.
Yeah, drop that in the comments. I'm sure I'd at least like to see the office. That'd be cool.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Are you guys doing anything with the hub concept? Are you going to try to centralize any operations for any of the expansion markets that you're looking at? Like, for example, lead conversion or back office stuff, transaction coordination. Is that something you guys have thought of?
We're toying with that idea. We've got an agent here that is about to move. I'm not going to say who it is on here just because it's kind of on the low right now. But she's going to be moving into another area of South Carolina, and she wants to carry the brand with her. That's how much she believes in what we've started. So we're looking at what things that we can do to help facilitate that. And we also have another branch in the state of South Carolina that's going to be started up in the next 3 to 4 months as well. So, our brand really grew a lot quicker and bigger than we had imagined, and that just shows you the belief concept in our culture and what we're building, and how many people really believe in it and want to see it succeed and grow. So yeah, that is definitely on the table, and we're already in talks of facilitating those now.
Yeah. So let's fast forward. You want to do that?
Yeah. Let's talk about the future.
We'll get the crystal ball out here a little bit, and let's go about 3 years out. Okay. And I don't know, do you guys happen up an operating system that you use for strategic management and strategic planning, like EOS or anything like that you, as far as how you do your planning and meetings?
Honestly, no. We need to get that together. We don't have any system based concept. We've got a structure in place of what our goals and all that. But in terms of what you're asking about, no, we don't. We need to.
Do you do longer term planning? Do you do like a 3-year model and sort of get those BHAGs out there, those big, hairy, audacious goals?
We do, and they're rough goals, but yeah, we do. We have big dreams to see where this goes, and at some point, the big dream with business in the future is freedom, right? So that's what we want to see. We want to see this. This is our baby. We want to see it grow. We want to see it succeed and continue to expand in many different markets, along with with EXP and what it offers. We do want to be able to stand back at some point as well. So we're structuring it in a way where we're still a part of it, but very much so. But also being able to do like what we're doing right now, more time to be able to speak and to give and pour into others that are looking to succeed in this business as well.
Right, right. Do you have any kind of vision or goals about the size of your organization in 3 years?
Sure. We want to be where you're at, man.
Well, come on, man. I'm trying to clear the trees out of the way. All you got to do is run fast.
So we like this concept. I mean, you guys, man, you and I know John joined later than you guys, but we tell John all the time, like you handed us the keys to a Lamborghini, man. We just got in and it has no brakes at all, by the way. I mean, we hit the gas and we really hit it. So I think my goal personally was to see our organization at 100 within our first year. We started recruiting, we started building out this organization back in March of last year. My goal was by the end of March, my personal revenue share to be at 100. It's 82 right now, where I'm hoping to maybe I won't make that, but I've gotten pretty dang close. My long-term goal is to see revenue share within the next 3 years, anywhere between 500 and 1,000. That's the goal, to see that organization grow from there to be in between, to be at least 5,000.
Yeah, that's not dollars.
No, that's total in the
number
organization.
of agents in there.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, super.
Yeah, organization.
Yeah, for sure. And
not specifically Greyfeather, just revenue share in general.
Right. Andrew, do you have any goals that are sort of other than what Cameron described there, or
Yeah,
you guys?
it's pretty similar, but one of the main things is time freedom. I want to be able to spend time with my family. I'm a newlywed. I've been married for about a year now, so that's one of the main things, is just knowing that I have that financial stability to back away, still be there if needed, but for the most part, spend time with my family and pour back into them.
Right. So as we're going to be wrapping up here in just a minute, what I really want to get into now is, what do you guys do to take your head to the gym? What kind of personal development do you do? Do you like to read? Do you guys have any thought leaders that you follow? How do you work on your mindset together?
So for me, like I said, I'm always looking at people who are in our industry that's doing what I want to do. So when it comes to Brent Grove and all of his functions that he's thrown, I watch those videos. I don't know how many times. EXP Explained, I probably watched that 100 times since I've been a part of EXP. My biggest thing is just getting everything down mentally so that when I am explaining it, I can explain it correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it? Rinse, wash, repeat. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead, Cameron.
I was just going to say, yeah, for me, weekly, I try to, I'm up at 5 o'clock every day. I'm in the gym every morning. Honestly, it's not me. But I do consistently go to the gym 3 times a week. I try to eat healthy. I like to have fun. I mix a little bit of those in between. I do try to stay structured because, I can find myself get out of a structure or get out of a regimen, and I can see things kind of fall out of place. As long as I can stay consistent in what I'm doing and my eye on the ball, I'm pretty good. Long-term goals for me with real estate in general, we've heard many people say real estate's my passion, or whatever. But for me, it truly is. Sometimes I even act like I've got a chip on my shoulder. I've got something to prove in this business. For me, I'm connected in any way possible that I can see this full circle. If it's growing multiple businesses around real estate, that's been my goal. Flipping business, insurance, mortgage, a real estate photography company, real estate, and it just keeps doing that right there and growing from that. That's just goal, and then everyday regimen of just staying structured to make sure that those goals are met.
Right. Awesome, man.
It's a lot. That's a lot to balance.
That is, yeah. You want to have a little fun?
Let's do it.
You want to?
Why not? That's
Okay.
what this is all about.
Let's have some fun. Well, I want to, because it's rare we get teams on, And
It is.
I love that because the dynamics are amazing. So I'm going to ask each one of you the same question. I want you to respond. We'll start with Andrew. Andrew, if you could own any car in the world, what would it be?
So Lamborghini Huracan.
Okay. Cameron?
I would say a 1987 Porsche 911.
Specific. Yeah, I like that.
Talk about different perspectives there, huh? Okay. All right. All right. So, Cameron, you answer this one first. What's your favorite all-time song?
This is bad. I should know it. It's Elton John. I'm Still Standing. That's probably my favorite song.
Okay, good. Andrew?
I'm a music head. Before I got into real estate, I wanted to be a producer. So it's hard to narrow it down to one song. But for me, just anything that's going to uplift me, whether it's gospel or R&B or hip hop, just something that has a motivating message behind it.
Okay, good. Andrew, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Cameron?
Black.
Okay. Do you have
Black.
one? I got one. Cameron, cats or dogs?
Dogs all day.
Yeah, definitely dogs.
Andrew, dogs all day? Okay.
I don't know how people like cats, but
I don't either.
Me
that-
either.
Yeah, the good news is that cats don't go to heaven, but dogs do. Did you know that? Yeah. Okay. Andrew, listings or sellers or buyers?
Buyers.
Sellers all day.
See, now this is why you have a team. Because you hear how they're complimenting each other.
it's the yin to the yang.
It's the yin and the yang thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. I see why I wanted to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
this is so illustrative.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
But seriously, guys, I mean, I have seen teams. They don't last long. When everybody thinks the same, after a while,
have
it's
that,
like
yeah.
it's like two drunk guys trying to hold each other up. You know, I mean, it just doesn't work, right? So, a good friend of mine that was one of my mentors used to say, when two people think alike, one of them is unnecessary, right? So you always want to have somebody to complement your strength and your weakness, right, with their strength, that kind of thing. So you guys are like made in heaven, man. This is really cool.
What are you trying to tell me?
Nothing. We'll talk about it after the show.
Am I the yin to your yang?
You're the yin to my yang. There you go.
Yes.
Okay, right. Perfect. There you go.
Man.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, is there anything that we didn't ask you today that you would like us to ask you? A question we didn't ask you?
I would say this. One of the big things that coming to EXP is it's been a little uncomfortable because I'm used to being around people in my culture and kind of just being a big fish in a small pond. But coming here, I knew it was going to be me taking a leap of faith and me getting uncomfortable. And I didn't want to be a big fish in a small pond. I wanted to be a big fish in a big pond. And I also think that is very important to have representation. So me coming to EXP, when I first started, I don't really feel like we had as much representation, but as of now, I'm starting to see a lot of faces that look similar to me and also other coaches as well, and I love it.
Amen. Yeah. Amen to that.
Just a comment, man. I'm very thankful and humbled because, prior to me joining EXP and us doing this together, I was a little more, I guess, selfish in ways of growing me. Whereas this has opened me up, and I will completely say this is on EXP. I've been able to share more and be able to. All I want to do now is just give, because I honestly have been 10 times more successful in giving and sharing and networking and being around the people that I've been around and continue to meet in this company. Just our international networking. Is just amazing. So yeah, that's for me. Oh, and just we're one big fire. That's it.
One big fire,
baby.
Love it.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest regret you have about coming to EXP?
None. And I'm being honest, none.
I've got one regret. I didn't do it sooner.
That's the number one reason we hear a lot.
That's what we hear, and I know you're being honest and from the heart too, Cameron. So we appreciate that. Yeah. Well,
And
guys,
I will say
am,
this.
yeah, go ahead.
I want to say one last thing. I came from a brokerage that was 100%. So leaving that, coming here, and that first seeing the 80/20 was kind of like, okay, should I make that switch? But upon talking to Cameron, he showed me that at EXP, you can make more than 100%. And that's where I'm at now.
100 plus.
It's 100
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of
Can
people.
you dissect that real quick for us?
Can we break that down just for
Yeah.
a minute? Yeah. What?
I'd love
yeah.
to.
Yeah. Go ahead and share why that is, guys.
I don't know specifically, but I will say this: within the first year, I'll never see less than 100% in commissions anymore. For the rest of my career in this business, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, you're 80/20. Yeah, you pay in $16,000 cap. Being able to icon and get that back in stock that's going to continue to grow over time with this growing company that we're a part of that's still very young. Being able to provide myself with passive income with revenue share that is roughly, I could see anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 a month on average now, and that's just going to continue to grow as we grow. And then, the agent equity program, being able to invest in the stock at a discount and that grow. I've honestly sat down and looked at the numbers. Last year, my first year with this company was more than 100%. So I don't know anywhere else that offers that and has the heavy hitters such as yourself, Cliff, to be able to reach out to at any time and to follow in big footsteps. You guys handed us the Lamborghini.
I love that. We're going to have to change. We're not 100% shop. We're
100
100% plus.
Yes.
That matches
That's
up
right.
with revenue share plus. Now,
Right, that's
with
exactly what it
affiliated
is.
Services
Yeah,
and
with success
success lending, and
success
what's going on.
coaching.
Yep, all of that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Title. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, the next thing we need to do is pick a golf course in Myrtle Beach and make a tee time. Okay.
Definitely.
So-
Sounds good.
You guys are amazing.
I can get us in the dunes.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you guys are amazing, and thank you for sharing. You guys are very generous to open up your playbook and your business to our audience, and we're very thankful for that. And really, that's just part of the spirit and the core values here at EXP. I mean, you can walk up to anybody at any of these events or call them on the phone or whatever and ask them, and it's not like they're going to shut the door in your face like happens in a lot of places. They will absolutely be happy to share how they're being successful, what's working in their market, and that's really amazing to have that many other people on your team, every day that you can access and help you, help you grow your business. But you guys are models. You're exactly you're a great fit for the company here. Entrepreneurs and guys that really want to make a difference, and that's really it's not the profit, it's the profit motive. We say that all the time here, and you guys are your heart's in the right place, your head's in the right place, and we just want to be here, support you, love on you, and encourage you to go out there and put your dent in the universe and continue to do what you're doing. You're amazing. But thank you for being on the show today, and we are going to get out to South Carolina, I promised, and we're going to pay those guys a visit.
Yep.
Southwest Airlines, golf club friendly, 2 bags
Boom.
fly free. We'll be right out there, gents. Trelvis, my dear friend, thank you again for a wonderful trip around the hour here. We certainly appreciate everything you do for us. I don't want to ever forget to acknowledge you and tell the world how much we appreciate you back there.
I appreciate y'all as well. I like the way you put it, a trip around the hour. I like it. I like it. That was clever.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for being here. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be here.
Catch us
Right.
live with Terrence Murphy.
Oh,
You got Terrence Murphy.
T. Murphy is
Yeah,
going to be next week.
Friday.
Next Friday. That's right. We're moving it because
Special-
Terrence is
yep.
busy. But Terrence Friday will be here. We're going to start at what time?
Not Terrence Friday.
Terrence Murphy on Friday.
Terrence Friday is a reporter for the Fox
That's right.
4 News here in
That's
town.
right.
That is
but
right.
Terrence Murphy is the former Green Bay Packer, Texas A&M star, who is a developer down in College Station and has a real estate brokerage. And is
This guy-
killing it,
Yeah.
right? Just absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
So we'll have Terrence on the show next. You guys take care. Have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. Get out there. Go catch some hailstones this afternoon. And have
Oh,
fun,
man,
right?
don't say
We'll
that.
see you next time.
All right, folks, tune in to Cliff's Notes every Thursday at 1 o'clock Central for the tips, tricks, and tactics to explode your business. I guarantee it!